I'm still working through my anger at Honda for canceling the S2000 and not the natural gas Civic. But in the meantime, I've got Mazda to help me work through my angst. Let's take a ride in the 2012 Mazda Miata MX-5 Power Retractable Hardtop Special Edition. Check the tech and catch our breath. Now, our Miata's top of the stack. It's a power retractable hardtop special edition. Here's how you spot a special. It's got black wheels and a black top. First time Mazda's ever done a contrasting roof from the factory. It's got the chubby cheeks like all the Miatas do, like it's got a mouthful of chestnuts for the winter, that goofy, dopey looking grin in the front. Overall, though, nice, tidy packaging. The specials are only available in two colors, chick car red and regrettable pearl white. Can't win on either front there. If you know the story of how the Miata got started, you know why it's like it still is. An American motor journalist was talking to the brass over at Mazda, and they said, what should we do next in terms of an interesting car? He said, no one has reinvigorated the ethic of the 1950s British roadsters. Do that. Crazy talk then. That was before they sold a bajillion of these. Look at the inside. Still very simple. Not a whole lot different than a 50s British roadster, except it runs all the time. The only partial concession to modernity is this head unit, and it's barely a concession to modernity. You've got AM, FM, no HD radio, Sirius satellite radio's an option for like $400. Aux jack is down here, no USB, no iPod, no streaming Bluetooth. In fact, even Bluetooth hands-free isn't on every Miata, but we have a high trim car, so it is. Little touches that make this guy nice inside. This is one of the firmest, crispest gearboxes you'll ever drive. I love the real mechanical thumb wheel switches for the seat heaters, so they're still on next time you get in. That's nice in the winter. Look at this, a horn button. They don't do that anymore. Now, in true vintage form, you can still get a whole bunch of different trim levels of Miata with a canvas top. This is not one of them. We've got the PRHT, the Power Retractable Hardtop, and it's a great one. It goes back real tidily behind the seats, and it goes up and down in a really speedy 14 seconds. This is one of the fastest tops of any kind in the industry on a car that is rather affordable. And notice, nothing gets in the way of your trunk space when this thing is up or down. Pretty good trick in a small car. And speaking of small, here is perhaps the strangest windbreak we've seen in a convertible. I don't think that's possibly large enough to do anything, although it does make a nice basket for drying oregano on the way home from the grocery store. Now, under its diminutive hood, the Mazda Miata's got a pretty basic motor, but it's a good engine. It's a 2-liter inline-4, basic stuff. No direct injection, no turbos. It's got variable valve timing these days and multi-port fuel injection, not direct injection, but it gets the job done. 167 horsepower, 158 if you get the automatic. Not sure what's going on there, but you're not going to get the automatic anyway, because then I'll stop answering your emails or speaking to you. 140 foot-pounds of torque regardless of the gearbox. Moves this 2,500-pound, you heard me right, little roadster up to 60 in about 7 seconds or so while delivering 2128 mpg. I'm sure you've read a bunch of reviews in the car magazines and places where they call it a pure driving experience, and it sounds like a bunch of that BS that car journalists write. But it's true. What's happening in this car, and you notice it immediately, is that you're not fettered with a bunch of computers and software and algorithms that are interpreting your driving. Yes, this car's got electronics like many others, lesser than most. But they get out of the way, and the car is very direct. You wear it more than you drive it. Okay, specifically, this car has no real torque until you get this thing wound up a little. It doesn't come alive till about the high 3,000 range on the tack. Not bad, it's the kind of car it is. It's not gutless, but it's not a torquey vehicle, of course, not at 140 foot-pounds. The rear end will come around on you to some degree if you don't know what you're doing, because the suspension is relatively unsophisticated. I'm on crap pavement here on some decreasing radius turns that it's just not a great place if you're just pushing it too fast and not paying attention. The ride is unrefined. It's not brutal, but it is unrefined. You feel the road come through. The car's well built. It doesn't sound like it's coming apart, but again, this is not the car you take on a 600-mile road trip, unless that's just who you are. You hear me talk about responsive all the time. This is one of those. It's a responsive vehicle. That doesn't mean powerful. That doesn't mean fast. That means it's light and it does what you think it's going to do when you give it an input. That is the rarest thing in vehicles today. Thank God Mazda still makes this thing, because Honda chickened out a long time ago on theirs, and we're now left with one that you can afford. Okay, to price an MX-5 Miata, power retractable hardtop, forget about the special edition. They're only going to make 450 of these contrasting ones. You're not going to get one of those, but that's okay. You get a better choice of colors. So go for the Touring retractable. It's about $28,300, nicely equipped, but you've got to then step it up to the Grand Touring, $1,400 more, to get the Bose audio, leather heated seats, and you're also going to get automatic temperature control. Sport suspension is $650. Bilstein shocks, limited slip differential, and firmer all around. Automatic transmission, $1,100 bucks. We talked about that. You're not going to do it.